Today in the episode, Special, where we inspect your legs. The ones attached to your cars, we mean. Voice of the Wasteland, where we answer your questions and choose the craft of the episode. And we begin with Workshop, a rocket launcher that puts the R in reliable. Some guns, and entry-level weapons especially, are only used for a brief period of time. For a lot of survivors, they're just a temporary solution, a throwaway tool on their way to fearsome retchers, porcupines, typhoons, and scorpions. On the other hand, some weapons, including those that can be obtained relatively early on your journey, stay in use for a very long time. The weapon we're going to discuss today might as well be a poster boy for the latter category. Say hi to the good old Wasp. Obviously, legendaries and relics are great, but this little launcher right here pretty much embodies the idea that you don't need to have a shiny expensive gun to have fun in the wastes. Check it. The weapon is quite tiny, so you can put it anywhere. Also, given its limited firing angles, it's only natural to mount wasps in well-protected gun slots, like this one right here, so that you don't have to worry about losing them too quickly. Heck, you can easily use them undermounted if that's your thing. No problem at all. And that's not even the biggest selling point of the launcher. What truly makes it stand out is the fact that it dishes out some serious damage in a predictable way. Yeah, a lot of your rockets probably won't hit anything worth hitting, but that's not much of a concern thanks to the Wasp's fast reload and good range. Just keep them coming. Furthermore, these little rockets have low energy requirements, just 4 energy per Wasp. That means that you can get several launchers at once and bombard your enemies with a stream of rockets. Obviously, the Wasp has a few weaknesses as well. It is small and it can be easily covered with armor, but it is something you can't afford not to do. The weapon's very fragile. So fragile, in fact, that only a lunatic or a literal madman would simply slap it on top of their car and ride into battle. We do not recommend doing this. Another important thing about the Wasp is that each of its volleys contains 2 missiles. Sometimes that's good, as it makes it easier to hit distant targets. On the other hand, it also makes it possible to miss an easy target at point-blank range. This takes some getting used to. Then there's the matter of ammo consumption. The Wasp eats through ammo at an astounding rate, so make sure that you bring extra rockets. You're gonna need them. You'll be shooting a lot. Speaking of shooting, make sure that you're benefiting from the Wasp's insane burst damage. Mounted on a chassis that is suitably fast, or capable of sideways movement. And here you go. Peek out of cover just to deliver a crushing blow, and then pull back to safety. This little tactic can go a long way, especially when fighting tough opponents like Goliaths. And don't be afraid to engage enemies at range, even if there's a bit of terrain or rocks in the way. Wasps have a pretty convenient flight path in this regard. And now, a short commercial break.
Torben, number 5, eau de parfum with a delicate fragrance of motor oil and welding fumes. Take your workshop with you wherever you go. Founder's choice.
Every time we take a look at a new batch of vehicles, most of them use conventional wheels. But what about mecha legs, the champions of easy movement across uneven terrain? Where are all the freaky-legged war machines at? Well, here's a few. Take a look at the best legged contraptions built by your fellow engineers. Let's start with a sidewalker. That's right, it's not just edgy sideways hovers that break the convention of movement. The build is all about making the life of your opponents as difficult as possible. See for yourselves. You get 2 legendary shotguns on a tanky car that can take quite a lot of punishment. What else do you need to wage a war against wheeled weaklings? There's one more thing to note here. As this car has only 3 legs instead of the usual 4, you don't get that big of a power score. Neat. The second vehicle on display is Spider Drones 2, made by an engineer with a suspiciously ravaging name. Very suspicious indeed. And it's a very shifty-looking craft as well. A bit of a puzzle for anyone running into it in the field. Where are its guns? Maybe on the belly? Nope. In the rear? It's a spider build after all. Wrong again. And while our opponent is busy trying to unveil the secrets of the cosmos, we just make an army of grenadier drones and let them experience combustion, burning, and a bunch of other exciting things involved in the process of being blown to smithereens. Works like a charm. Come to think of it, this might be a perfect vehicle for joint scavenger lunatic raiding parties.
Put it on the list. We're definitely using it next time.
Finally, we have this beauty. Psychisko. Some of you might feel an inclination to say, hey, that's just a traditional clan battles build. What's so special about it? But take note of the power score. Makes it a very different story, doesn't it? Yeah, that's right. This is a proper a proper tank on legs. It is also armed with 2 main caliber guns. All in all, it's a very nice battle car to show everyone who's boss. Just wait till we get there. Any minute now. And what is your experience with legs? Mecha legs, we mean. Share your secrets and stories in the comments below. The first message was sent by Caucasian Empire. They say, don't suppose Leviathans could get a little love? Perhaps in custom games or 1v1 in a new game mode? We're planning a few things with Leviathans, but can't really talk about it yet. Keep your eyes peeled. The next question comes from one of our regulars, Meme Life Gaming.
Can you tell us how you get all those cinematic shots? Would it be possible for us to have a feature like that if we don't already?
It's simple. We do it on a special PR server that has a bit of added functionality. Unfortunately, the same thing cannot be easily implemented on regular servers. It's more of a stopgap measure at the moment. It's very finicky and hard to control due to limitations of the engine, and basically breaks the game a little in order to work. Then there's this message by Ivan Gasparini. I've been playing Crossout for 2 years and I noticed that there are many Italian players. Are you going to support any other languages in the future? Also, what about an update of the Awakening campaign? Hi, Ivan. As we've said before, we'd love to support more languages, but we have limited resources and the team is stretched thin as it is. If there are players in the Italian community that are ready to help us with localization, we'd really appreciate it. And when it comes to Awakening, well, we'll tell you when it's ready. Big Man Strong asks, do you plan to add more voice lines? Possibly one for each faction during battles? Or for different situations such as having one last player on your team saying something like, do I have to do everything around here? Greetings, Survivor. We had no plans for that, but we'll discuss this idea with the team. Might be really good for immersion. Thanks. Finally, there's this message by one of our regulars, Warbrand 2. He says, crazy toe-wielding kobold here. Don't fear the ducks. Give them food and they will reward you with ammo. Sounds like a trap to me. And now it's time to pick one vehicle from the exhibition that the team really liked, so that we could show it to the whole valley. When the sun goes down, it's time to go all out. It's time to feel the blood pumping in your chest. It's time to race. And this might be the best car for the job. Thunder Wasp, built by an engineer with a very interesting name. Apparently, Jutons also know a thing about racing. There's not a single gun on this battle car, and it's not really a battle car. What it is, though, is pure magic in the body of steel. Lots of cool little details, a really nice paint job, an engine that sounds like it's aching for a race. All in all, this is a very impressive build. Really unfortunate that it uses wheels and not legs, but you can't have it all, can you? Praise Velg, thank you. That's it for today. Tell us what you think in the comments below, ask us questions, and if we somehow stop trying to fit a racing car with a pair of nice legs, we'll return with new crazy content in a couple of weeks. If you like what we're doing, consider subscribing, leave a like, and good luck.